I'm Ariel Azor, host of Right This Way, and today we're going to talk about, you guessed it, Joe Biden. Now, we've talked about Joe Biden a ton, I know this, but we're going to talk about the Biden-Harris administration, and the reason I call it that and say that is because we've seen several mishaps. Kamala has called it the Harris administration. Biden himself has called it the Harris administration. It's super weird. And we could look past that because, Kamala tends to just say really odd things. Biden often doesn't have coherent sentences or complete thoughts, but this isn't the only place we've seen this. So if you follow me on Instagram, which I know not everybody does, but if you've seen my Instagram, you saw I was looking for Joe Biden on Twitter. I was sitting doing nothing and I was like, why don't I follow Biden on Twitter? Like, I need to follow him. I got to see what's going on. And I love getting like videos of Biden, things that I can talk about, things that, just keep me up to date. Honestly, I know that there's a lot of censoring, but when you're getting news from like Biden, I actually like to see those things coming straight from him as well as things straight from Trump because, again, the news has had no chance to like change it. And the news honestly doesn't report on Biden that much. They just say like the Biden administration, it's so great, it's so great. But like we don't actually see like all these things that he like does, I don't think, as often as we should maybe. So I wanted to follow him. And like I said, if you saw this on my story, you saw this already. So I'll be brief, but I'll put the photo up here for anybody who didn't see it or just didn't pay attention. But I was looking for Biden and I came across who first? Kamala. Now, again, I guess not a big deal because, she probably has more followers than him, right? I mean, she's, if it kind of like a Google search, if you're looking for the star of a TV show, sometimes like their kid or their wife or husband comes up, like when you search their name, they come up like next to them or something, or if they're more famous, they come up first, like things like that. I get that is sometimes how like searching things online, I'm not very technologically savvy, but I understand at least like I've experienced that sort of thing I understand at least I've experienced that sort of thing happening. So I think that we could say, okay, just weird. No big deal. But like we mentioned earlier, Kamala has called it the Kamala administration. Biden has called it the Kamala administration. And there's all these weird things. Like I've seen videos asking their Amazon Alexa, hey, Alexa, who's the president? I don't have one because we got rid of it because it creeped us all out because it listens to you. I've seen videos of it. People say, what's your purpose? And it says like, my purpose is just to listen to you and gather information on you. It's super creepy. Look for like, if you go look up like Amazon Alexa, like listening videos, like look that stuff up. You can find a ton of stuff. It's really weird. They listen to every single word you say. I mean, by nature, like, that they do because you have to say, hey, Alexa, for it to turn on. It's always listening. But that's creepy. Same as your phone. Your phone's always listening if you have Hey Siri turned on. Going back to Twitter, if Joe Biden has less followers than Kamala Harris, again, right, maybe it makes sense for Kamala to come up first. Let's see how many followers they have. Joe Biden, I'm following him. He has 20.9 million followers. Kamala has 12.9 million followers. So a little more than half. And she's coming up first when you search Joe Biden. Pick up your phone. It's probably messed up if you're following one or both of them already, but like I wasn't following either one. That is what came up. I have the picture. So it's really odd to me because again, I don't think it does it anymore, but same with the search engine thing. People were saying, hey Siri, how old is the president? I saw videos of this too. And it would respond, Kamala Harris is whatever. And it's super creepy because there's like a lot of stuff going on, like we said, that's like, oh, that's weird, but like, okay. It'd be conspiracy to think that just because Joe Biden slipped up and called it the Harris administration, which is really, really, really weird, by the way, still super, super weird. That's a big slip up. Because you should never have called it that, ever. Like, it's not like, oh, I got used to calling it that. Like, there was no reason to ever call it. You were always the one running for president. She was always, like, it's not like you switched places and now you have to, like, remember who's who. That's not what happened. So it is really weird. But, we'll chalk that up to just Biden's memory loss and confusion. Probably dementia, who knows. But Kamala said it too. The phones say it, and not just phones. Because iPhones are Siri, whatever, I don't know. But like Amazon Alexa, that's not iPhone. Google Home, that's not iPhone. It's so weird that so many different locations and sources seem to think Kamala Harris is going to be the president. Now, we've been saying this for months, jokingly, but not really. Kamala Harris is going to be president. Everyone knows Joe Biden, is not in a healthy mental state. And I mean, there's literally no chance this man can actually take office and hold it for 4 years. I think we'll be lucky if he makes it 4 months. But everybody wants to say, anything you bring up, oh, it's conspiracy, it's a conspiracy. Like I said, it's conspiracy if it's one instance or 2 instances and it's just a really well-timed coincidence that lines up really nicely. There's so many different weird sources that know, or, there are so many weird sources that think Kamala Harris is going to be president. Now, it's interesting because I wonder if they know something we don't, or we do, but, we don't officially know. Kind of like how all of these politicians on election night, when Trump was up and when Republicans in local areas too were up, all of these different politicians were so confident. Everybody was so confident Biden was winning. He wasn't worried. I mean, he probably was worried. And then he was like, oh, I don't need to worry because, they're just going to get a lot of votes for me overnight. But it's like they know something we don't. My local representative is Connor Lamb. And it was really weird because I really like Sean Parnell. Obviously, he's conservative. Of course, I'm going to like him. But Connor Lamb was down by thousands of votes in Allegheny County on election night. And it was either election night or the day after. I don't remember exactly, but, votes were really slow in PA. He was still down by thousands of votes. And he went on at 7 o'clock at night and declared victory. And he went on TV, he went on Facebook Live and on his Twitter and stuff and declared victory the night of the election. And I was texting back and forth with a couple of people. They were like, did you just see that? And I was like, does he know something we don't? I just feel like this is this situation again where he was down by so many votes. Why would you think, oh, I for sure got it. I know I have it. Is it just arrogance or is it something deeper? And I mean, I think especially on a local level where things are subject to change, you definitely can be voted out of office for not engaging with your community enough or properly. Do they know something that we don't? Or are they simply that arrogant? And again, with Kamala, she could be that arrogant. It's absolutely possible. If you watch the video of Kamala when she called Joe Biden, well, let's just pull up the video. Why not? Kamala talking to Joe. Kamala saying, we did it. Here you go.
We did it. We did it, Joe. You're going to be the next president of the United States.
Super, super painful. Didn't like that at all. And I know people like to make fun of the way Trump talks. You can make fun of the way anyone talks. But I didn't like the way Obama talked, honestly. But I cannot handle 4 years of Kamala. I'm not going to be able to listen to anything that comes on. If her face is on the TV, I'm going to have to mute it. I can't do 4 years of that. And I think it's possible that we might. There's no way I can do 4 years of that. But it's still not set in stone. 1, that she would actually be president, of course. 2, that she's even the vice president because December 14th has not happened yet. The Electoral College has not placed their votes yet. They're still investigating voter fraud. So although the media for a couple weeks now has been saying, this is your president-elect, literally anything about the election, even my posts and stuff, I have 500 followers. I don't have enough for you guys to try to censor stuff. They're not censoring, but anything that says anything about the election or could possibly be about the 2020 election, they're just putting a little thing at the bottom here, get election results, anything. And I keep clicking it on and on accident and Biden's face pops up and it's Biden president-elect. And I just need to take a breather and I need to calm myself down because that's not something that people don't know. Unless you're doing an old marketing trick with subliminal messaging and basically brainwashing, although of course, not actually brainwashing, don't call me crazy, but it's putting into your mind over and over and over again the words Joe Biden, president-elect, Joe Biden, president. Call me crazy all you want. I'm not saying that they're literally brainwashing yet, but But the subliminal messaging is absolutely there. It's absolutely meant to interfere with the way that your brain like actually would just think about things when you have no outside influences. It's absolutely meant to influence your thought process 100%. So we've got Joe Biden now, and he's doing the exact same thing. This was why I wanted to follow his Twitter in the first place, is because he's got these videos and he's saying we're doing 100 days of masking and all this. So we're going to watch that video real quick.
My first 100 days is going to require, I'm going to ask for a masking plan. Everyone for the first 100 days of my administration to wear a mask. It will start with my signing an order on day one to require masks where I can under the law, like federal buildings, interstate travel on planes, trains, and buses. I'll also be working with the governors and mayors to do the same in their states and their cities. We're going to require masks wherever possible. But this goes beyond government action.
So he's going to literally make it law that we have to wear face masks, and that's just to enter certain buildings, because you can't actually make laws in America saying, you know, if you're going to leave your house or if you're in your house even, like you can't actually make any laws saying you have to cover your face, you have to do this. But Joe Biden knows he can't actually put this into law. He can say for buildings that are owned by the government, like, you know, Capitol buildings or whatever, you can't come in without a mask on. Okay. He can't actually force businesses to do this, and he knows that. And that's why he's putting it like this, and he's putting it out there before he takes office, if he ends up taking office, because he wants people to be comfortable, to be at least aware of the idea. If you're scared of getting coronavirus and you think you're gonna die from it, don't go out in public. Don't go to the mall, right? Don't go shopping, because I guarantee you, walking around and touching clothes, if somebody's sick and they have coronavirus and they touch those clothes and they brushed up against you, or they, you know, weren't 6 feet away from you, which they never are. I mean, some stores, like there's literally, you cannot be 6 feet apart in the store because like if you're passing each other and stuff, it's absolutely ridiculous.
And so, as a new president, I'm going to speak directly to the American people and say what I'm saying now. We need your help. Wear a mask for just 100 days. It's the easiest thing you can do to reduce.
You can do this, and all you have to do is wear a mask for 100 days. But you know what I remember? I remember March when, you know, all of this started happening, and they said all you have to do is wear a mask for just 2 weeks. Not 100 days, just 2 weeks. It's all you have to do. And now here we are, 6, 7, 8 months. By the time this is, it'll be like 9 months later. We're still wearing masks. And now you're saying just 100 days. And you're not even saying 100 more days. It's like, how insulting is it that we think we haven't been wearing them, or that we're that used to it? This isn't normal, and we shouldn't keep acting like this is the new normal. If you act like this is the new normal and you're just like, oh yeah, it's fine, whatever, this is normal, it is going to become the new normal. That's how that happens.
COVID cases, hospitalizations, and death. Help yourself, your family, and your community. Whatever your politics or point of view, mask up for 100 days.
This is him talking. These are his little politician tactics. It's super easy. All you have to do, and you're going to do so many great things if you wear this mask. You're going to protect everyone. You're going to keep people from dying. You're going to save their lives.
Once we take office, 100 days to make a difference. It's not a political statement. It's a patriotic act. It won't be the end of our efforts, but it's a necessary and easy beginning, an easy start.
This is not patriotic. That's what they keep, it's just patriotic. Hold on. The left hated patriotism in July. The 4th of July, we weren't allowed to wear flags because we weren't allowed to wear flags, and we weren't supposed to celebrate the 4th of July a couple months ago. But now the left is patriotic. They're only patriotic when they want to be. Most of the time, this country is terrible, and they hate it, and they are the only hope for it is these leftist politicians. But when it appeals to Americans, they want to be patriotic. How nice. It's this subliminal messaging, so you're okay with it when it happens, but you don't just sign that into law. Again, it's not law. It's the same with all these governor orders that I've been saying over and over again. They're not actually laws. Governor's orders, governor mandates, whatever you want to call them, there's a difference between those and laws. And governors are saying, we do have the power to do this because it's like an emergency power thing. We're given it an emergency. This is not an emergency. Really bad wildfires or something might be an emergency where you could like mandate that people evacuate their businesses. That might be an emergency. This is not an emergency. It's been happening for 9 months. So we need to stop saying that. Tom Wolf, just today as I'm filming this, he is saying he's going to close everything down again. Businesses, there's no dine-in. Tom Wolf and all of these other governors are destroying businesses, destroying the economy, and no one cares. I think it's time to start caring. It's time to stop accepting this as the new normal and to start questioning some of these things. Do they actually have the power to do this? This is the danger here, is what does government actually have the power to do? Not this. If you've enjoyed this episode, give me a thumbs up on YouTube. You can leave a review on Apple Podcasts, and you can also check out my Instagram at right.this.way.